I probably should. Oh, hold on. Come on. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Interea. So, hopefully nobody's new here, because, this is a wonderful... Oh, come on. Sorry, guys, I am fixing... My thing doesn't want to play nice today. Okay, I think we got it. Hi, guys, hello, welcome to a brand new episode of Interea with your host, Fallenwolf. So, new update came out about 2 days ago, maybe 3, like 2, maybe 3 days ago. I try to keep up to date. I try to keep up to date with this one. I try to keep up with Interea, as closely as possible. The public builds. I know the public builds come out like a month after the patron builds, and I try to wait till the public builds release because I don't want to spoil anything, and pay for patrons. For patrons, obviously, you're getting getting content, as a reward for helping support it. So I don't want to, I try to wait till the public build come out. But finally, the public build for this came out. I'm really excited. I didn't play it until the public build, so guys, I like to play these new. I like to make sure that my reactions are genuine, and I'm not I don't like fake reactions. I'm not really into that. So everything, this is brand new for me. The only thing I did is skip through just to get. The only thing I did is to skip through a little bit just to get some CGs, but I don't really know what happens in this. My good friend Dirk the Red Panda played this. I have not. My good friend Dirk the Red Panda played this. I didn't even watch his video. I watched his video after I finished this one because I was like, I don't want to spoil myself. So I'm ready to go. Last time we left off, there was somebody called the Magus. Had a friendly competition with Amicus, which Amicus got his butt kicked pretty bad. It was embarrassing to say the least. I felt bad for him. He was a little butthurt about it, but our character's name's Mark. Mark tried to cheer him up, and he felt a little better. But I am curious to see what happens. I know that there are a lot of people out there who kind of are wondering what exactly Interea is going to add to the dynamic, to the lore of Adastra, of the Adastra Universe. I'm kind of curious too, because there's some things I wanted to say, but I'll wait till the end. But I'm curious to see what exactly new things that Interea is going to add to the Adastra Universe. Hopefully some good things, but I know that it can't add too much because Adastra has a set ending. So, but we'll find out. I'm very curious. I've rambled on long enough, though. We are going to get started. We're going to load. I'm starting right in. We're swinging right into things. Amicus. Up here we go. Amicus stops at the door of the villa, then leans in to kiss me. And we kiss for a long time, with no prying eyes around to disturb us. All right. But anyway, how are you guys doing today? I'm assuming you guys are excited because you always get happy when I post these new videos. You guys love. I know many of my viewers out there really enjoy Adastra and they enjoy Amicus. So the villa is surprisingly lavish. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but after seeing the somewhat barren streets of Lux, I assumed it would be less decked out than the palace in Adastra City. Wow, this is really nice. It is. Amicus seems as taken aback as I am. Haven't you been here before? This is where you stay when you're in Lux, right? Amicus seems embarrassed. Actually, I never stayed here myself. This is my first visit to Lux as Emperor. My previous visits to my youth never lasted longer than a day. Cassius is likely familiar with the place, though. I turn my attention back to the villa. It's decorated and furnished to an extent that's even more extravagant than the palace. Though to be fair, the palace isn't all that extravagant, and that was intentional. It's bare and utilitarian, I think that's how you say it? Utilitarian design is meant to appear at least somewhat approachable to the common wolf. We go about settling in, and Amicus raids the pantry and the kitchen and returns with a bottle of wine and a smaller bottle of what I assume is Verde. It's a drink made mostly with the juice of a cucumber-like fruit, and Amicus knows it's my favorite drink on Adastra, though its pink hue tells me that it's a flavor I haven't tried before. We settle on our reclining couches, which I noticed are made with gold trim and polished wood. Your grandfather Vetus, right? Amicus seems to perk up immediately. Oh yes, Vetus. You've learned of him. I hold back a wince, forgetting that I haven't told Amicus how far I'd gotten into Adastra history quite yet. I quickly move on so he doesn't dwell on it. Just a little bit. I just remember that he ended up getting rid of most of the expensive stuff owned by the family and gave it to the people or something. He did. About a century ago, the palace had far more decorations and murals. It was a very important step forward in the imperial family's relationship with the people. Amicus swigs from his bottle, and I do the same for mine. I can tell that the pinkish color of the liquid is probably from flower petals, since the drink has a distinct floral taste about it. Even though it makes me think of walking through a perfume cloud with my mouth open, the chill drink is still refreshing, as long as that imagery isn't in my mind. Well, I guess I would have thought that might be the case for the villas too, especially in a region as poor as Lux. They don't have much wealth here, right? Well, the mines and factories are prosperous enough. The issue is how the wealth is then distributed to the people. Unfortunately, the people of Lux seem intent on voting for the most extreme politicians, who then tend to be the most corrupt. It's a self-inflicted misery, unfortunately. I instinctively blanch at his reasoning, but I don't want to get into another argument. Oh my gosh, we're really getting into... We are really getting into politics here. Like, I kind of like this. I love the MC wants to call him out so bad. Oh, he wants to call... Marco wants to call him out so bad. Amicus had seen my reaction well enough, though. I should not have to tell you once again that you could speak freely with me, Mark. I know that, but lately I've been feeling more and more like I don't know what I'm talking about. I know, but I need to remember that Adastra is an Earth, and sometimes it feels like it isn't my place. But it is. I want a human perspective. Well, just remember it's only my perspective. Alright. And I think that when you say it's self-inflicted, it feels like you're just blaming them for a situation that isn't really their fault. Yes, I understand that, but what I said is mostly out of frustration. It's difficult to sway these people, and at times I'm at a loss for what to do about the Lux problem. Well, make sure you stop calling it the Lux problem, first of all. I'd never say that out loud to anyone else, of course. But someone might hear you. We both know there can be ears anywhere. I suppose you're right, but that doesn't fix the actual issue. I hate it. You know, I don't know if I let you guys know. Like, as much as I like, you know, I think Adastra's pretty good. Interea so far, I don't really have a definitive opinion on yet. One thing I have a definitive opinion on is I hate Amicus's new sprite. I do not like Amicus's sprite for Interea. I don't think it's... I think I wouldn't feel as strongly about it. I don't think I'd feel as strongly about it if it wasn't for the fact that Adastra, he didn't look like this. And yes, some people's excuse is, oh, well, the art looks better. The artist, you know, Haps is getting, you know, is improving with his art. And that's true. I agree. I noticed improvements with many aspects of the art. It's not that. It's just that, one, I don't like the way his face is. His eyes are way too small. I don't like how much smaller they are, and I don't like how his body looks. It's hard to describe. It really is. It's not me just trying, you know, it's I guess you would... I don't think it's a nitpick because it's noticeable. Like, it's not something like I'm actively looking for. Like, it's just like when I'm just normally reading this, I don't know. I don't like the new sprite. I am one of the people in the firm party of old Amicus is best Amicus. But, you know, everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their opinion. I know some people really enjoy the new sprite, and that's fine. For me, I don't think it looks as good. I think for one of the biggest issues is the eyes. I don't like how small the eyes are now, and I also, I don't know. His body just looks different, but not in a good way. But that's me. Anyway. Have you tried building a better relationship with Lux? Of course, but like I said, the funds we sent them end up in pockets that we cannot trace. Attempts to regulate or even withhold funds end in riots. Attempts to purge unqualified politicians from the ballots end in riots. Any attempts to make Lux resemble a civilized Adastrian city end in riots that do not end until Adastra gives in to their demands. Tell me, what the hell am I supposed to do to make them understand that Adastra simply wants what is best for them? Amicus's frustration is palpable, but despite his annoyed and growling tone, I know it's not directed at me. Another reason I don't feel qualified to judge or tell him what to do is because I know he spends most of his time thinking about things that I can only chime in on, which I imagine is a bit irritating. But he seems to be generally seeking my advice, so I try to. From what I understand, a lot of the problems in Lux come from its isolation, right? I would say so, yes. Oh, and I think a few centuries back, an emperor tried to, calm the rebellious spirit of Luxians by importing large amounts of hard liquor into the city, which I can't imagine had a good effect on the people. I do not recall that policy. Did Com tell you that? I remember that I need to tell Amicus that I'm using Chemian records to get a better context for Adastrian history. Just not right now with all this other crap going on. I think so. Either way, maybe you can try to address those problems. How do you usually get from one city to another? Well, through flight, of course. Can a Luxian afford that? No, most cannot. Most travel is done by automated chariots. Though from Lux, I believe you must travel on foot out of the mountains first. I frown. Aren't the chariots really slow? Well, they're twice that of walking speed. Thus it would take about 2 weeks to travel from here to Adastra City, so not terrible. Oh, Amicus, you're... Amicus does not understand that right now, the way things are being done, I can see in a few decades, maybe a century at the latest, Lux is going to rebel completely. They're going to become their own city-state. And if you want to keep your people... I was about to say a word, and I don't want to say it like that, because I don't think Amicus is that kind of person. I was about to say, if you want to keep your people in check, which is not nice, no, we're not using it. If you want your people to want to continue to be a part of your empire, he's an emperor, Amicus is emperor. If you want them to continue to be a part of your empire, you have to give them reason to want to continue to be a part of your empire. Right now, the way Amicus is talking of how they treat the Luxians, it doesn't, why would they want to be a part of your empire? It feels like you're pushing them away from the rest of the empire. So I think for one, you have to do things to make them feel like they're part of the empire. A good example would be for one, the politician issue sound like it's a big problem. Have politicians that actually come from Lux instead of, pushing people to govern over this area. I don't know if the city or whatever it is, people to govern over this area that aren't, don't have any stake in Lux. Like, that's one of the biggest things. Honestly, and no, he's not, but I don't think he is. But one, honestly, for that, I would almost feel like Magus would be a great counselor. Counselor, whatever you say. I almost feel like Magus would be a fantastic counselor, because he seems like he wants to have good relations. He wants to have civil relations with the rest of Adastra. I don't know. I'm just giving my opinion. I can see where this is coming from, and this is a serious problem. And I feel like if Amicus doesn't resolve this in a few decades, maybe a century at the latest, this country, Lux is going to completely have a full-on rebellion a civil war, basically, in Adastra, where they want to completely split up and become their own governing body. And, if you don't want that, you might want to might want to start making them feel like they're actually a part of your empire. Otherwise, history shows a good example of that. There's a lot of times in, I mean, heck, look at the American Civil War. It was because we didn't feel like we didn't feel like us Americans were getting proper representation. It was one of the biggest issues. We didn't feel like we were getting proper representation, so we rebelled, and we rebelled against the British Empire, and now we have America. And that's what I feel like something like that, happened because, again, we didn't feel like we had proper representation. We didn't feel like we were part of the bigger picture. So, Amicus, you need to make the Luxians feel like they're a part of the bigger picture. Otherwise, you're going to have a really bad civil war coming. How do they transport all the raw materials from the mining or the goods from the factories? Those are moved by foot and chariot to a major river, then placed on boats. Do people travel on the boats? No, the boats are only for the transportation of goods and resources, and the river only connects to Tri-Scilly. They refine the resources and distribute the goods to other cities. What are you going on about anyway? I'm trying to figure out how people get around on Adastra. From what I can tell, the main problem here is how isolated it is. On Earth, if a state wants to unify its people, it connects its people. Thank you! Marco is actually being intelligent right now. Oh, Marco, you're actually, Mark is actually being a very intelligent character right now. Oh, I could, thank you, Marco. That's usually done through roads, trains, aircraft, general public transport. It sounds like Adastra doesn't really have that. Yes, well, we already have the roads, and they've served this world for thousands of years. And they only serve slow chariots. I'm not sure how the parents work, or maybe you can ask Kemi for help, but high-speed transportation for the general public would probably be my first step. Amicus stares at me, and I shake my head. Sorry, I don't know much about what's possible, so I probably sound crazy right now. Well, it's certainly not an easy or quick proposition, but it's something that can be looked into. I appreciate the idea, though. One of the reasons we never pursued a better connection with Lux is because its people do not seem to want one. Well, maybe it's because they feel so isolated, like they're not part of Adastra. Over time, that could change. I suppose that could be the case. I'll ask some of the others about it. Maybe we could ask Magus since he's coming off the... Oh my gosh! How is the MC becoming so smart? Like, no offense, a lot of times in Adastra they act like a complete idiot, and suddenly here they're super, oh my gosh, they're literally saying, they're saying exactly what I just said. Oh, I love this. Oh, a smart MC in a furry visual novel. I would have never expected it. Amicus shifts, looking a bit embarrassed at the mention of the other wolf, and I feel bad bringing him up. Yes, that will likely be necessary. I'm tired of talking politics, and Amicus seems to just be tired, so I get up and join him on his own couch, and he sets aside his wine to hold me close to him. I feel the hardness of his cape's clasp against my head, and I help him pull the red fabric over his head, careful to set aside his golden crown first. It's slightly been out of shape, I assume from the fight, but I don't mention it as he pulls me back in against his body. Ooh, hold on guys, I gotta save this. That's a great picture, we're gonna save that. I begin to gently rub his chest and stomach, running my hands over his thick pecs and down his padded stomach, which I'm sure is still aching. We're both already falling asleep, so I give him a light version of my usual rubdown. I listen to his breathing and notice his pants crotch bulging just slightly, but I can tell he's too tired for any serious action right now. Tonight. I don't know what is going on with me today, I can't speak. Thank you for speaking candidly with me, Mark. You always have fantastic insight. Thanks. You're doing a fantastic job as an emperor. Amicus looks at me in a way that tells me that made him a bit emotional. I rub my head against his chest, and before long, we're both drifting off to sleep. Oh, so good. Amicus dreams heavily that night, several different scenes flashing through his mind. One in which his father chides him for his loss against Magus, another in which Virginia is berating him for failing to unify Adastra, and finally one where Mark stands in a large, cavernous room filled with other humans. Amicus can tell that Mark is distressed, looking unsure, hesitant, and Amicus wants to help him, but he's not able to speak because he isn't there. These dreams are typical, but the last one transitions into something that isn't a dream. Something that Amicus is becoming more familiar with as the parents exert their influence more and more. And it's about Mark. Amicus startles awake, looking down to confirm Mark is there with him, feeling immense relief when he does. Then he hears what awoke him. A knocking sound on the door. Amicus pauses and whispers at the ceiling. Calm. Yes, yes, Amicus. Calm whispers back, leaving Amicus grateful that amongst the expensive decor, they've also installed a PA system. Who is at the door? Amicus is careful to keep his voice low as Mark shifts around against his body. Though he's mostly adjusted to Adastrian hours, Mark still sleeps a bit longer than the average wolf, and Amicus has to assume it's because humans need it. The Pharaoh's second son, Nephru, and the Chemian ambassador to Adastra, Brunus. Amicus feels slightly annoyed, then moderately annoyed as the knocking sounds again, this time a bit louder, making Mark stir once more. Gently, Amicus removes himself from the couch, keeping the human propped up before slowly lying him back against the cushions. Deciding to forego his cape and crown for now, the wolf strides to the front door of the estate, pulling it open quickly. The rush of frigid air almost takes Amicus's breath away after spending so much time in the climate-controlled villa. Amicus can tell immediately that something bad has happened just by looking at Nephru's face. Despite his initial annoyance, Amicus feels a prickle of worry that it could have something to do with the delegation. What happened? Nephru stays quiet on the verge of pouting. Amicus has never seen the jackal sulk in such a way. It's Brunus who finally speaks for him when it's clear that Nephru isn't going to. Well, we were just out getting breakfast when we were, harassed, I guess. Amicus clutches his jaw tightly for just a second. And? Well, they started pelting Nephru here with, I don't know, fruit or vegetables or something. Amicus bites his tongue to hold back from cursing. What about the curfew? It came from the windows. We went back to our flat, but then some of them did start coming out and formed a crowd at our door, demanding we hand over Nephru. Amicus closes his eyes, leaning against the door frame, easily able to picture the scene. Drones came in and stunned most of them, then we were told it'd be best for Nephru not to stay in the city. Damn it. Amicus squeezes his eyes shut, hoping that somehow word hasn't spread of the incident. Do not worry yourself. They seemed satisfied enough when I was escorted from the city. There were no further issues from what I was able to tell. Yeah, it was real isolated. Wasn't enough to get a big crowd going. Still, Amicus knows the optics are not good. Amicus turns his attention to Nephru, seeing that the jackal is trembling ever so slightly under his tensed-up muscles. Are you injured? No. I mean, they nailed you pretty good in the head a few times, even if it was just rotten fruit. I am fine. Nephru's tone is flat but slightly dark, and Amicus can tell that the jackal would like not to be visible at the moment. The wolf knows the feeling quite well himself. Alright, well, you're welcome to stay here. There's a spare room toward the back of the villa. What about you, Brunus? I'll probably be sharing that room with Neff, but I'll go back first and get our stuff. Is that safe? But Jeremy is getting it, but I'll meet him halfway since he wants to know a bit more about what happened. It's quite clear to Amicus that Brunus wants to give Nephru time alone to sulk. Well, alright. Let me know if any other issues arise, and I shall deal with them. Of course, Your Majesty. Brunus bows as he backs away, muttering a see you later, Neff, as he does. Yes, see you. Amicus stands before Nephru, the jackal's stiff posture making even the wolf feel awkward. While there are many things about Nephru that irritate Amicus, he at least can admit that the Chemian has a knack for making things not awkward. It's slightly unsettling. Amicus clears his throat and steps aside, indicating Nephru should enter. So, do you wish to speak more on the matter? No. Well, the room is right over there. Amicus gestures at the doorway visible from the villa entrance. Thank you. Apologies again for bringing complications to... Never mind that. Go get settled. Why, of course, Your Majesty. Nephru's voice is slightly mocking in response to Amicus's more commanding tone. The return of Nephru's irritating, cheeky nature, brief as it may be, is enough to put Amicus at ease. That whatever happened, Nephru will get over it. Now he just has to worry about whether or not Lux will get over it. Well, you'll have the place to yourself for the morning. Mark and I are going out. Not into the city, I assume. Of course not, especially after what happened. It's a private outing. Ooh, enjoy yourselves then. Amicus watches the jackal go, letting out a long exhale of breath, which reflects his feelings of being deflated. Sapiens like Neferu, the ones that rarely admit to what they are feeling, to what they are thinking, are frustrating to the wolf. So much for Chemian bluntness. While he tolerates Neferu's behavior in Adastra City, or at least is overly mildly annoyed by it, it's a different issue out in these less civilized population centers. The wolf feels his insides turn with anxiety, wishing he'd prepared better for this mission. He rubs his stomach, still sore from yesterday's Pugnu match. He'd have to call a meeting later today so they can start keeping tabs on everyone. For now, he needs to take Mark to the hot springs like he promised. Oh, we're going to the hot springs. I hold on to Amicus's paw as we make our way up to the side of a mountain. And I thought I was underprepared yesterday. My sandals threaten to slip with every step, and after I stub my toe on one of the rocks, Amicus just picks me up. I don't mind at all, especially since no one's around to see it. How do you humans get around? Is Earth a perfect sphere with no geological features? Well, I keep my arms wrapped firmly around Amicus's neck as he piggybacks me up the rugged and uneven climb. If I were dressed the right way with the right kind of shoes, this would be less of a problem. Well, I hope you bring all of those things with you when you return. I'll make a mental note to do that. While the Chemian drone continues to keep me warm, Amicus's warmth is much more welcoming, and I press my face against the back of his neck. The wolf trudges along in the foggy silence for a while, and I'm just content to lose myself in the hypnotic bouncing. After a while, I start to recognize the sulfuric smell that reminds me of the baths back at the palace. Shouldn't be long now. The hot springs are the main draw for tourism in this region. Most artificial baths are modeled after the composition of Luxian springs. It's healing for the body and the mind. Well, I can't wait. I've never really believed in the supposed ability of Adastrian mineral water to heal physical ailments, but I can't argue about the mental part. After Amicus told me about what happened to Neferu, I wanted to invite him to go with us, but I didn't think either. Wait, what? I gotta save that. That's an error. That's definitely an error. But I didn't think either of my canine friends would have wanted that. Shouldn't it be? But I didn't think that. I think they flip flop. Yeah, they flip flop the words. Okay. Soon enough, I start to see clouds of steam, and eventually the pathway leads to a scenic outlook, one with a crystal clear spring right in the middle of it. Ooh. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh, that's such a nice background. Oh, I want to be there. I'm also... Oh, you know what? I'm going to put this just in case. I'm worried. Just in case. I want to be safe, because we might... I don't know. I don't know how this game's going to be. Just in case. I don't want YouTube to shut down the stream. Oh, jeez. Also, can I talk about how much I love the music for this? Like, it's so good. The music is great. Oh, look, they even prepared our towels. Wait. He gestures at a bucket with towels beside it, and I even spot a few bottles stood up by the edge. There's a giddiness in the wolf's voice that I haven't heard in a good while, and I smile at Amicus's pup-like excitement. Amicus sets me down on the stony ground and begins to strip off his clothes. I do the same, though not quite at the same frantic pace. I've only removed my robe when Amicus does something else he hasn't done in a while. Oh, I am so glad. Guys, you have no idea. I am so glad that I have the sensor. Oh, it's so perfect. Oh, it's a good thing I have the sensor bar up, guys, because, oh my gosh, yeah, it's not. Oh, wow. I look up in time to see the wolf leap into the hot springs, seemingly without any care in the world. Again, it's nice to see and to know that Amicus is willing to act this way in front of me. It means a lot. I'm the only one. But I'm also a bit worried because I'm not sure he knows if that's really a safe thing to do. Especially in a natural spring. Yeah, it's scalding hot water, isn't it? It's gonna burn. The moment of freeze is a moment that lasted less than a second before he hits the water. Amicus comes up quickly. Alright, I think we're good. I'm gonna shut the sensor down. I think we're fine. I think I'm okay. Ah, he hit a pole. That's hot. His voice is full of pleasure, though. Oh, yeah. No, we're... just in case, I don't see anything, but let's be safe. I just want to be safe. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys, for who want to watch this, but like I said, it's YouTube. You know, I have to be careful. Also, this CG looks great. Oh my gosh, I actually like the CG. I don't know, like I like it, but his head looks weird. His head doesn't look like it matches the body. Amicus reclines against the edge of the spring, laughing in such a relieved, satisfied way that I'm eager to go in myself. Amicus looks up at me. So, are you coming in to join me, Mark? I sidle up to the edge of the spring and Amicus eyes my more cautious approach. I recommend the, what do you call it, cannonball technique? It's a bit hotter than the palace bath. Okay. I finally set aside my worries, telling myself to just lighten up. Though I do look where I'm going to land to make sure there's no rocks poking up. Oh no, can you imagine? Just jumps in Mark just jumps into like the pool. Mark just jumps into the pool and it's like, ah! Then I jump. He's right about the heat, and for just a moment I panic a bit. But within seconds, before I even surface, the burn settles into a pleasant warmth that instantly seeps into my muscles. When I come back up, the first thing I notice is how little the water stings my eyes. Not only that, but it feels better. It might be all in my head, but there's a silky quality to the water, and I can immediately see why this is preferred over the artificial baths. Amicus smiles at me. Quite pleasant, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of amazing, actually. Nothing beats the real thing. Gods, I needed this. After seeing the stiff, rigid way he carries himself all the time after becoming emperor, it's nice to see him relax. It makes me a little bit emotional, which catches me by surprise. I want Amicus to be at ease all the time. To know that he's always stressed now makes me sad. You alright, love? Yeah, I'm good. This is great. Amicus looks at me for a good long moment and sighs. I suppose I should admit that I came here for my own selfish reasons. I didn't even ask you if you wanted to come. No, I'm happy to be here, Amicus. Especially with you. I don't want to say that you're hiding something from me, but you looked a bit upset just now. Is it Neferu? That also catches me by surprise. Oh no, I mean, I thought about asking you to invite him, but didn't think either of you would care for it. Alright. Seeing Amicus's tense demeanor returning, I decided to just tell him. Okay, so seeing you so relaxed and happy made me happy, but also kind of sad because you don't look that way very often anymore. Oh, is that all? Don't worry about me, Mark. It's all part of the job. All things must come to an end, and that includes puphood. I'm happy to indulge in it once in a while, though. Are there any natural springs near Adastra City? No, at least none worth your time, anyway. Amicus runs his paw through his fur. I can already feel it nourishing my fur. I'm sure it's the same for you as well. I reach up and feel my hair, and it does feel softer, as if I just shampooed and conditioned it. Huh. Like I said, it has healing properties, and well, some say it even has an effect on libido as well. Oh, Amicus, no. Uh-oh. You're gonna be naughty today, Amicus? Amicus, no, you can't be naughty. I raise an eyebrow at Amicus. Uh-huh. Ooh. Guys, you can't see it right now, but the sensor bar is in a very good spot right now. That's all I'm gonna say. If you really want to, if you guys really want to see it yourself, you can always play it. It's, just download the game yourself. I can't show it. Indeed. I notice a dark length beginning to rise between Amicus's legs. I try not to smile at how quickly he's worked himself up. We weren't able to make love last night after all. Do you know what would really relax me? I frown, still playing along. Amicus, if you're gonna say sex, that's not a true statement at all. After the fact, I mean. Well, I know rubbing that body of yours tends to get you relaxed. Maybe I can start with that. I didn't get to really give it to you last night. Ooh, oh my gosh, look at him. He's liking this. Guys, it's so good. He's liking it. That immediately seems to get the wolf going. Well, I don't want this to be one-sided. It's not. I love rubbing down your body. And why is that? I can tell I'm pushing my wolf's button, so I push further. Ooh. Because I like to feel your big, strong body and imagine what you're about to do to me with it. You know, guys, it's so funny because I'm sipping tea right now. I got a nice big mug of tea right now. This is really one of those tea moments. I'm just gonna keep sipping my tea. Nothing to see here. Perfectly wholesome. Well, why don't you come over here and show me how you'd like to feel me? Amicus leans back further, exposing his torso to me. Despite not having been in the mood just minutes ago, I definitely am now, and I slowly start to pull myself away from my end of the spring. I wonder how long you'll be able to restrain yourself this time. Let's find out. Good morning. Oh, holy crap. Oh, he got baited so hard. Oh no, Amicus, Amicus got baited so hard. Oh, he's so upset right now. Oh, I feel so bad for him right now. Oh, Magus, dude, come on, worst time to come. Oh my gosh. I can't. We both jump and Amicus immediately covers up his now very prominent cock poking out of the water. Also, I probably should actually take the sensor because I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Now I'm worried about fucking Magus. I wasn't even expecting Magus to come. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I quickly lean back against the ledge, trying to make things look casual, though Amicus's reaction ruined any chance for that. Even I'm a little bit surprised by how violently he covered himself up. I suppose we don't know much about this Magus guy, to be fair. Amicus tries to keep his heaving breaths under control as Magus lowers himself in a smaller pool next to ours. Okay, I can take the sensor away. Okay. Good morning. Good morning to you as well, Mark. Sorry if I startled you. I was just soaking in a spring further up the trail. Oh. Either he didn't notice anything unusual or he's pretending. I feel like it must be the latter. Oh no, just a little surprise is all. Yes, we were told the springs would be private for the day. I want to tell Amicus to be a little more polite considering this man is one of the Tremivers of Lux and he'll be traveling with us for the rest of the mission. I also don't understand why Amicus is as agitated as he is. Interrupted in the middle of a very private moment by the man who humiliated him yesterday. Of course. I'll be taking my leave soon enough. I just want to make sure that the accommodations are to your liking. He indicates the buckets, towels, and drinks. That and I thought I might take the opportunity to get to know the head of the delegation and his companion a bit better. Amicus takes a deep breath, possibly to make it more clear to the other wolf that he's not interested in doing that at the moment. I finally speak up to hopefully distract Magus from Amicus's rudeness. Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Magus. Of course, Mark. I was not aware of your favorite drink, so I settled on Verdi, since I understand not everyone enjoys their alcohol. That's perfect, actually. Thanks again. Yes, the drinks are fantastic. It was good to speak to you today, Magus, but my companion and I were discussing some private matters. Oh, of course. I'll be on my way, but I did want to ask. Are you quite all right after our bout yesterday? I know you assured us of your wellness, but after reflecting on it overnight, I wanted to make sure. Amicus stares straight ahead into the distance, as if not acknowledging that Magus is touching him will allow him to pretend it's not happening. As I said yesterday, I am perfectly fine, thank you. Yes, I only ask again due to the fact that I understand the issue of optics when it comes to being a high-ranked official, especially when you are on Lux. It seems to finally break Amicus's dwindling patience. You forget yourself, Magus. The position of Tremorvert is quite different from that of Emperor. I say what I mean. I feel a sinking feeling in my chest as Amicus drops all attempts at appearing proper. I completely understand Amicus's frustration right now, but Magus's sincere tone is, as far as I can tell, completely genuine. Yeah, I don't think Magus... I think Magus really does want, like, civil relationships with, like, the rest of the Empire. Like, he doesn't come off to me as, like, conniving or sneaky. Like, he's not like Alexios to me. Like, I feel like he, honestly, like, how he is, like, this is how he is. Like, he generally is like, hey, are you, like, he generally is concerned. He, he really wants to see if Amicus is okay. He's not just, like, trying to, like, inflate his own ego to, like, be like, oh, yeah, like, I kicked, not like, hey, I kicked, yeah, are you doing okay? Because I really kicked your butt yesterday. And, of course, Amicus is very prideful, so it's not like that. I realized then that I need to alleviate the situation somehow. Amicus, you are forgetting yourself. I adopt a more chiding tone, wanting to keep the feeling of the situation more lighthearted. Please excuse our Emperor. We were up very late last night. I feel that's the best explanation I can make up. It's a childish one, but that's the point. While I am Amicus's companion, and far more than that, I still need to take care not to forget myself. I need to keep Amicus looking good even while criticizing him. And I can do that by making myself seem frivolous, stupid even. Mainly, I just need to give Magus an excuse to be distracted by Amicus's slip in professionalism. I feel like I did a mostly good job, considering Amicus just getting to stare at a place somewhere to my left and over my head. I see. I do apologize for imposing myself upon you. I shouldn't have taken advantage of the situation in such a way. Again, his sincerity is striking, and that's unusual. Maybe that's why Amicus is so cold. He doesn't fully trust this wolf. You didn't take advantage of the situation. It's just an inconvenient time, unfortunately. I glanced at Amicus before continuing. Why don't we meet later for lunch or dinner? There's a pause as if we're both waiting for a confirmation from Amicus. How about dinner? Seeming to decide that my word is good enough, the Tremorvert agrees. I would be honored. Censor. I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh no, censor, cover it up, right there. Okay, we're fine, guys. Nothing weird here. Magus rises out of his spring, water splashing off of his fur. Usually when a fur creature gets wet, their overall stature becomes less impressive. Cassius and Alex come to mind. But for Amicus and for Magus, it turns out the opposite is true. I can see why his kicks had been so powerful. Amicus glances at him, then at me, so I quickly avert my gaze. I don't want to give Amicus any more reason to feel inadequate, even if it's not a good reason. I'll meet you at your villa, if that's alright. 13th hour. When there's no input from Amicus, I agree. Oh. That sounds good. Alright, I will see you then. Have a nice soak, your highness. With that, Magus disappears around the trail. I assume to where his own towel is stashed. It's silent for a few moments, then I sigh. Oh, so I can take the sensor down now. Amicus, that was terrible. I know. He's grumpy now, so I know we aren't going to pick up where we left off. Well, at least you could try to salvage something over dinner. Yeah. It's quiet for a bit, then Amicus huffs. Thank you, Mark. I was not handling that well. Happens to the best of us, but I think you should at least give the guy a chance. Maybe. I just need more time after yesterday. Of course. While the mood is ruined, I tell myself that it could have been worse. Oh. No! The scene's ruined! I'm sad. When we return to the villa, I can immediately tell that something's wrong. But Jorny is there, looking more upset than I've ever seen him. That's not saying much, but considering he almost always defaults to a professional, cheery demeanor, it's obvious that something is very wrong. I think I have a good idea of what it might be, and as soon as Bajerny starts talking, I'm proved right. Your, Your Highness, it seems that the situation in the city has become tense after the issue with the Chemians. Of course it has. There are rumors that a concerted protest is being planned around the 12th hour. What is the actual issue? Do they simply want the Chemians gone, or... The issue has become broader since then, while the initial complaints centered around the Chemians supposedly turning their noses up at Luxian culture. Of course. Now it is more about why you, the Emperor, would bring them along. Of course. It's quiet for a moment. Is there something we can do to appease them? Bajarni looks over at me, then sighs as he puts away his portal. It's difficult to say. Once Luxians set their minds on something, especially something that makes them upset, it's hard to dissuade them. What if Neferu or Brunus apologize? Not that they should apologize for anything, but maybe that'll be enough to calm the people? No, that will only make them more upset. Chemians come off as condescending whenever they're apologizing. I know that's likely only due to the wolf's inferiority complex, but I don't say it out loud, of course. Are Neferu and Brunus here? I look around and notice that the door to the spare bedroom is still closed. Yes, though Brunus wanted a private moment with Neferu. I look at the closed door and feeling incredibly sorry for the jackal at the moment. I wonder if Neferu will even be up for the trip to Lupus tomorrow. That'll be even more difficult for the two of us, though in a different way. I regret to say it, but it might be best to simply leave within a few hours. My heart sinks into my stomach at hearing that. Amicus seems to have the same feeling. No, I cannot leave the city worse than it was when I arrived. That will mean absolute failure on Adastra's part. I must make a speech or something. I agree, but I'm not sure what else can be done. The longer we stay, the more time the city has to fester in its anger. But I must! Based on my teachings, I know that more than a few emperors have lost their lives in the city. Well, the last time was at least a few thousands of years ago. The city hasn't changed all that. Okay, save that too. That's an error. While the last time was at least a few thousand years ago, the city hasn't changed all that much since, and I feel a great deal of worry for my wolf. I gotta send it to my friend. My friend. Hold on, I gotta let him know. I gotta send it to my friend. Oh, he's gonna love it. Oh, jeez. He's right, Amicus. If this city can get as bad as you say, it would be too dangerous for you to try and calm them. I also worry that his skill in rhetoric isn't good enough for this situation. He's good, but not as good as... Oh no, it's Cassius! Ah, it's Cassius. This is gonna be fun. I haven't done Cassius' voice in a long time. I love doing Cassius' voice up. Amicus, what the hell? I'm absent for less than a single day, and the city is ready for a riot! He barged in without any of us hearing it. Cass, now is not the time. Now is the time, Amicus! Lux will tear itself apart over this! What, over perceived insults from the Chemians that likely didn't happen in the first place? No, Amicus, over rumors! What actually happened doesn't matter. What does matter is that now they are saying Neferu spat on the food offered to him. Gods. Amicus takes a deep breath. Well, I suppose I should prepare myself to give some sort of speech. Are you serious, Amicus? Of course. You idiot! Shut the hell up, Cass. You don't understand. I understand far more about the city than you ever will. Cassius' screeching voice reverberates around the villa in the most grating way possible, and I see Amicus lower his ears in response. Now Cassius takes a deep breath. They will kill you if you set foot in the amphitheater alone. There are drones that will protect him. Bajarni chimes in from the sidelines in his usual cheerful way. Oh yes, and that will lead to such a rebellion that the city will once again declare itself as an independent city-state. Good luck trying to repair at any point during your rule, Amicus. Amicus finally seems to relent. Alright, then do you have anything to propose yourself, Cassius? Cassius goes quiet for a few moments, seeming to gather his thoughts. I can tell what he says next takes a good deal of effort on his part. Then he sags a bit. I suppose you could say that my performance yesterday was not adequate. He pauses, waiting for Amicus to say something, though the other wolf remains quiet. Therefore, you might say that at least a small part of this is my fault. Another pause, but Amicus just waits. A very small part, but a part nonetheless. Therefore, I shall give another speech. Finally, Amicus shows some surprise at what Cassius has just said. And the people shall be allowed to actually attend the speech. None of this curfew nonsense. This is part of the reason they are so upset. Are you sure? I don't think I could let you... Oh, stop it, Amicus. I know what I'm doing. Do you? I've given speeches at Lux at least half a dozen times, so yes, I do. Amicus eyes Cassius carefully, as if unsure of the other wolf's intentions. Keep in mind that if I want this mission to succeed anywhere, it is here in Lux. I would not be able to bring myself to leave the city the way it is now. I would at least like them to have a little hope for the future, as that is all we can offer them at the moment. Maybe we could mention that. Maybe we could mention that infrastructure project. Maybe we could mention that infrastructure project we were talking about last night, Amicus. Possibly. It might be a bit too early for that, though. What are you on about? Well, we discussed tentative plans to better connect Lux to Adastra City, possibly by use of Chemian tech, but I don't think... Cassius seems to be thinking deeply, much to my surprise. Actually, that does give me an idea. Where's the jackal? Here in the villa. Why? Summon him. I have an idea, but it involves bringing him and you along. Cassius... Ooh, Cassius looks directly at me. Ooh. Is that the end? It's not... Is that the end? It's gonna be the end, isn't it? Ah, to be continued! Damn it, I knew it! I knew it was coming up! Hold on, I gotta say it real quick, guys. Oh, I knew it! I knew that was coming up. I was like, it's gonna end. Damn it! I actually was getting invested in this part, even... Alright. So, guys, let me give my opinion on some things, and then I will call this an end of the stream, but not right now. Alright, so let's get this out the way. I'm not going to discuss the art style. I feel like that's pretty much a known fact that I don't really enjoy how Amicus looks, so I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to ignore that. Alright, so this update was pretty short. I mean, it was about as long as the last update. I think the last update was about 45 minutes. A little disappointing. I wish the updates were a little bit longer. But I understand, you know, the Echo Project is working on the Echo Project team is working on various projects, so I understand that they can't, you know, make a lot of updates. But, my opinion. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Okay. I liked seeing more of Magus. It was nice to see him. I like seeing a little bit more and actually, you know, I like the fact that we're still discussing how, you know, I like seeing that, discussing that the Empire is not perfect. I really like, you know, like, I like this, you know, and, you know, I like this. One of my big issues is always going to be, I wish that I was hoping that this kind of stuff would actually be in Adastra, but we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna forgo that, because Adastra happened, Adastra's a finished project, and, you know, as much as I wish, this is the kind of stuff, though, I would have liked to see in Adastra, and I really wish they would have put little more hints of this in Adastra. It kind of sucks to have to play what is essentially a spin-off game to see how, you know, to see that the Woven Empire is not perfect. So, you know, but trying to come with, you know, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Adastra came out already. Adastra's a finished project. It is a, you know, it's a finished product. So I have to move on from that. But talking about specifically this update, I like seeing more. I like seeing that more about the Wolving Empire and understanding how, you know, they're not perfect. I like seeing in this update that the MC is it feels like a lot more like an actual person. He's far different than Adastra. He's very smart. He's trying to learn, you know, the political game. He's trying to learn the political game, and I really like hearing that from him. And he's trying to take, you know, inspiration from not just from Amicus, because he understands Amicus there's a lot of flaws with Amicus. As much as we like him, you know, there's a lot of flaws with Amicus. He's still, you know, still trying to learn. But like, one thing I will say, I don't really feel like as much as I enjoyed it, I don't really feel like the hot springs scene didn't really add anything to the story. And I honestly feel like that scene was added mostly just for fan service. Again, I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I personally liked it, but it didn't feel like there was really any reason for it to be there. It just was there for fan service. It didn't really add anything to the story. I feel like that scene could have been taken out, and I wouldn't have really missed much besides what I just said, fan service. Because nothing really happened in this episode per se. The most interesting thing that happened was towards the end, where Cassie's going to give a speech, and we're understanding that the citizens of Lux are reaching a boiling point with how they feel about the Wolven Empire. So honestly, not that much happened in this update. I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Once again, you know, Haps did a fantastic job. The art looks great, but I'm really hoping the next update adds a little more context. Like the last update with Magus, that was important. That added a lot of context, and a lot of things happened to the story. This didn't. It really was kind of just like, this was almost like when you watch an anime. This part was almost like when you watch an anime, and there's always that like beach episode, or you know, that episode that is non-canon, like when animes are like trying to struggle to let when the mangas are struggling to catch up and the anime's too far ahead, so they make like an episode or two like that has nothing to do with anything, just so that they can allow the manga to catch up. This kind of felt like that kind of part, but in all honesty, I really enjoyed this. I like seeing that Amicus is willing to listen more to you know, the MC. You can see that his input means a lot to him, and he's willing to understand if he's messing up. So it's really nice to see this side of Amicus, because we really didn't see that side of him in Adastra. In Adastra, he was very headstrong. Even towards the end, he kind of was like, it's my, you know, it's pretty much, he was like, it's my way or the highway. So it's nice to see that he's trying. Like, yeah, he's still making mistakes, but he's like willing to be like, okay, I messed up. What can we do to fix this, instead of, no, this is what we're gonna do, you know, and not listening. So that's good. But all in all, this is an okay update. Nothing. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Filler episode, Nivik. Yeah. So all in all, to me, this is mostly just a filler episode. It was nice to see that the project's still being worked on, and you know, the hot spring scene was nice, but I don't really feel like it added anything to the story, honestly. I know. Yeah, exactly. For the MC, yeah. Are you talking about like him? Yeah, absolutely. The MC grew a lot. I really wish these were how the characters were in Adastra. Again, it is what it is. Adastra came out. It's a finished project, but this is how I would have liked to see the MC. I would have loved to see the MC using his brain. He was very rational here. He was using his experience from the human, you know, from Earth, and using it here. And I really think that's something that there's a few things I don't like about Adastra. One of the biggest things was the MC acted really stupid. I mean, not the stupidest MC I've seen in a furry visual novel, but he was pretty dumb. He was pretty dumb. After the beginning of Adastra, the middle and the end, the MC acted very stupid. But I can't wait for the next update of this. I really did enjoy. All in all, like I said, despite this feeling like a filler episode for me, it was enjoyable. I usually always, Interea's really, I do enjoy Interea. I think it's, you know, I think it will be something amazing. I think it will be very well done. The only other complaint I'm going to give, and then we're gonna call it a day, is I'm really concerned about Interea being its own thing instead of part of Adastra, because Adastra has a set ending. And when you come to projects like this, mid-equals as I like to call them, you can only do so much, because you already know stepping into Interea that all the major characters that are in Adastra are not going to be severely affected in Interea, because they're in the end of Adastra. So like Cassius, is going to be, nothing serious is going to happen to and Cassius, nothing serious is going to happen to Neferu, nothing serious is going to happen to Amicus. I wouldn't be surprised if something serious happens to the other side characters, like the Magus or something, because we don't really hear them talked about in Adastra. So that's my only concern with this project. I'm hoping that it makes it feel well worth supporting, but that's my biggest fear, that this will, by the end of this, it will really just feel like it's a little, it's a filler episode. And I'm hoping that it doesn't, and I feel like its own project. Because if it ends up feeling like a filler episode, then my question is going to be, well, why didn't you guys just focus on fixing up Chemia and working on that instead of working on this? But that's my opinion. I like to write, I like to read stories. That's my opinion. All in all, I was fine with this. If I had to give it a rating for story progression with this, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 10. It didn't really add much of, if anything, to the story, but it was a cute little scene. It's nice to see MC and Amicus, connecting and bonding and, discussing politics. But that's all I have to say. Thanks, guys, so much for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful day. The weather's really nice out here, over here where I live, so hopefully it's nice over there. And with that being said, this has been Fallenwolf, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.